We are back again for yet another episode of the Del Rivers Show, featuring me, your host, Mark Elliott.
And you know who I am.
The one and only living legend.
Yeah.
The Nick Apollo Forte of upstate New York. The Charlie Potatoes.
Charlie Potatoes.
The world's foremost proponent of the blame game. Old friend Del Rivers here, and actually I called him Charlie Potatoes last week, which is from the Piers Morgan interview with Robert Blake, which I explained to you. He got Robert Blake all pissed off, and
That's
Blake
amazing.
referred to him as Charlie Potatoes. And I saw this in the news, and I thought Robert Blake was dead.
Yeah.
I honestly thought the guy died. I thought he was as dead as Abe Vigoda.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I keep thinking that people
He's
are
got to
dead
be as
they
old as
pop
dirt.
up.
I mean, he was around with the
Little
rascals and stuff like
thought
that.
a couple of years ago, I thought I read that he died. You know, and
Yeah.
I make up these memories.
Different guy.
Different guy. So we're going to start out the show very quickly. I'm going to get Del to do. I'm going to show you. I think he looks like Alfred Molina, the actor Alfred Molina.
You could actually make that bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll let you be the judge. Just
in case you wanted to know.
okay. Just
Yeah.
hold it right there.
Alfred Molina.
All right, straight face. Alfred Molina, a little bit maybe.
A little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
But
From Law and Order, in case nobody knows.
yeah, he's just the Law and Order LA and many other great movies, great actor. And now the one and only, the incomparable, utterly silent impression of actor William Devane.
I'm John F. Kennedy. I'm William Devane. You're getting your tuberculosis back. Tuberculosis.
Oh my god, I don't know if it's good for me or bad. Jesus Christ. William Devane, folks, the one and only. So what the hell, I was telling Dal, like last week I had all these notes, this week I'm completely unprepared.
You look like you about to have as much notes as you usually do. Pretty much.
There is a slim chance that our former roommate Jason Brown from 25 years ago could be walking in on the taping, but it's unlikely. He's probably on the highway.
But if not, he can bless us with a question, like he does every episode.
Usually we'll get to that a little bit later.
Memory lane.
Memory lane. Yeah, it's usually Jason's questions for memory lane. What about Del's beef? What about your beef today?
My beef?
You got a gripe?
Yeah, I did have a beef. I didn't write the whole thing out, but I just gotta remind myself.
You turned your beef into an essay?
No, it's just the first line. My beef for this week is road plates. You ever see that? Like when they do road construction, they put that metal plate that
goes over you.
You always ka-chung, ka-chung, you hit over that.
That's your beef?
And then, they always put road plates that you have to run over with your car. It's like hitting a pothole.
Well, that's so the suspension guys.
I don't know, can't they even it out with the road or something? You think they would. You know, and then they use cones, the orange cones. Right. But a lot of times, like if you're in a narrow highway, they use those things that are like wickets. The little, like the cones that are like anorexic looking, the real thin cones.
You don't like the thin cones?
No,
the fat cones?
I like the fat cones, like the big barrel cones or the large ones. But
this is your beef, the steel plates?
Yeah. And lastly,
I was talking to Del before, and I said, what's your beef? He goes, he wanted to keep it secret. And I said, what about the dog? Last week his old parents got the dog, and it turns out that his father's not too happy about the dog. It seems like more, his mom's thing. I said, what's the dog's name?
Daisy.
Really lame. And he's telling me that he can't relax because the dog comes up and is biting him in the neck.
It actually bit my hair
neck
off.
Fat or something.
I got like freaking hair patches missing on the back of my head from the dog like pulling it out.
And I said, well, what, they leave you to babysit the dog? He goes, yeah, I'm home alone with the dog. I said, can't you just throw him in the closet?
I wish, if I had a closet to throw him in.
And he said, yeah, I'm kind of there alone. I can't really avoid him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family dog. It's not the kind you tie outside.
Is he keeping you awake at night anymore?
No.
The barking?
Luckily, they put the dog in their room, so it's not so much of a, all-night barking fest.
Right. Yeah,
okay.
So that was making you miserable a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a little beef this week. I touched on it before, related to Facebook, and I have a beef about. Again, I mentioned last week that none of my real friends are my friends on Facebook. I have these people trying to friend me. I actually got a friend request from some guy I don't know who this guy is. His name was Chad Lavender. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't think I'm going to be friending Chad Lavender. You know? Ignore.
No, you know what I do?
What the fuck is this?
I leave friends, if it's somebody I don't know or don't really care to like put in my friends list, I'll put them in friends purgatory. Where they ask you to be friends, and you don't hit ignore, and you don't hit approve, just let them sit there so you know who they are.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that was my little beef for this week.
It's a good beef. It's common beef, but it's pretty good.
And
Chad Lavender.
Del did come up with an odd little thing earlier. He thought was very hilarious. He goes, "Geez, what if we just went on we were talking about editing the show." And he said, I haven't really edited anything out, nothing. He goes, I leave the swear words in. I said, yeah, you can essentially. He goes, unless you go crazy and start using the N-word and going nuts. He goes, what a lot of bad publicity that would be. I'm thinking to myself, is it possible I could go on a psychotic racist rant? It's like, you seem to find the possibility of music.
Just for publicity,
Grand publicity it would be, yeah. On that note, let's take a little break. We'll have a commercial break, a little word from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with more of
Del's bag.
Del Rivers.
Bag of goodies.
Stay tuned.
The Del Rivers Show, brought to you by Il Duce brand Imperial Laxatives. Make your trains run on time with Il Duce.
All right, folks, we're back from our commercial break. And Del says he's got some stuff in the grab bag for us.
Yeah, let me show you the flats first before we do the flats. Do the news items or whatever.
The flats.
Yeah, we're talking about like your glasses. How do you like this picture of me from high school?
It's just a little bit blurry.
It's a little bit blurry. I don't know if it'll show up on there.
Yeah, a little picture of Del, studious kid in high school.
Yeah.
He just told me in high school he was never a member of anything, and he wanted to get into the drafting club, and the teacher said, no, I don't think we want
Yeah, I was rejected from the drafting club. It's like rejected from the chess club. It's like, give me a break. But look how thin I was.
It's a little like Tom Davis there.
Yeah, a little bit. The old comedy writer, I was writing stuff.
Speaking of which, a little not out moment of silence for the great comedian Tom Davis.
Oh, yes.
He passed away this week. Of Franken and Davis fame, were one of the original writers for SNL, Saturday Night Live. Those guys were really funny back in the day. They did a lot of great work.
This is a graphic I used to use. It was like a car commercial for Volvo. Volvo, go ahead, we dare you. It's like they want them to use the airbags and smash the car into a wall.
Volvo daring you to kill yourself.
You won't get hurt. Don't worry.
All right.
Nuts. All right.
Are we moving up here?
Yeah. Right. Okay, I already did the beef. Here's a few items.
Once again, I wasn't allowed to pre-screen and red pen any of this.
Right.
So.
And you can react any way you want on these. Okay, these are some news items I picked up. McDonald's voted #1 food chain. I guess next would be hospital food, gas station food, and prison food.
Okay.
You know what's funny about McDonald's? I got a friend that's a manager of one of the McDonald's. I'm not going to say who, because that'll get me in trouble, but he claims that had sex up on the McDonald's.
On top of the McDonald's?
On top of the roof, yeah. He snuck up there and it almost became Cud-Donald's after he got done.
Was he alone at the time? Or
No. Well, let me get through the rest of these.
All right, there we go. Next one.
Soccer star Hope Solo failed the drug test, but she was let off when the doctors realized that she plays soccer, not baseball.
Okay,
that's pretty good. Now, if you heard this one. A giant lobster was caught off of Cape Cod, so the jaws of life were used to crack it open. make any sense.
No, we're sinking.
They
we're
cooked
sinking.
it. They had to like crack it open somehow. It's like
Jaws of Life.
to crack
Okay,
it
it was
open.
a tough shell.
Okay.
All right.
Knitting needles were actually found in Turkey on an airplane. But on the good side of things, passengers knew which way the plane was flying.
That's pretty good. Okay, a little compass joke in there.
Yeah, and here's the German one. Well, not strictly German, but Nazi suspect Laszlo Stateri, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He was held in Hungary. And that's where his Nazi uniform was finally ready at the dry cleaners after 65 years.
I always had this theory that the Nazi tailors, whoever made their uniforms, should have been brought up on charges at Nuremberg.
Well, for what?
Because they made these guys look so great. They had the greatest uniforms.
The uniforms are amazing for military.
I mean, I always imagined, the French sitting in the trenches, and the Nazis show up, and the French are like, "Oh, forget it, let's quit. They got way better uniforms than us." Just totally made the French give up immediately. Yeah, they were way too snappy.
I got a few more. There's a couple more.
All right, go.
Elton John regrets his drug years, while Bernie Taupin regrets wasting time writing songs when he could have been partying.
I thought you were going to say regrets Elton John.
No, he likes Elton, I guess.
Onward.
All right, Lay's potato chips. They're asking customers to design a new potato chip flavor. One of the new flavors chosen is salty and greasy.
It's a new flavor, salty and greasy.
Right.
Okay, salty and greasy.
This one's, my last one.
Last one.
Today.
That's good. The big punch.
I wrote this morning, so hopefully I wasn't too asleep. Kim Jong-un of North Korea, he took over for his dad, right? He fired the top military bosses for opposing his economic changes, while the other military leaders were gladly buying their weapons on MasterCard. Priceless. That's my...
I don't know why I am laughing at that joke at all. I really don't.
I don't know. Maybe it's the economics.
Letterman had this running joke. He said it used to be Kim Jong-il, now it's Kim Jong-W-il.
Yeah, W.
All right. Next week we'll work on maybe a top 7 list or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I got a bunch of them from comedy.
All right. What else have you got in your grab bag there?
This is one of my stand-up. These are all from old stand-up comedy, but I think some of them are pretty funny. It's just, I think it's kind of cool that we're doing this because we get to showcase stuff.
We're going to preview something.
Yeah, just want to take a look at it first. These are called the Other 10 Commandments.
All right. Go ahead. Before I get even further, yeah.
These are some of the other commandments. If you read the Bible, you get the 10 Commandments. Here's 10 more.
They're getting dealt with both barrels tonight, aren't they?
Thou shalt not eat or enjoy the last piece of cake or pie. Number 2, thou shalt not urinate on public toilet seats. Number 3, thou shalt not fart in a space smaller than 10 cubits square. Cubits is like length of an arm.
Is that what a cubit is?
Yeah, it's from the elbow to the hand. Or the top of the hand was a cubit.
I actually did not know that. I learned something new from Dell.
Well, now you know. Number 4, thou shalt love thy neighbor only when their spouse's chariot is not in the driveway. Number 5, I like that one.
That's not bad.
Number 5, thou shalt not sit in the last church pew with loud children or sleep during the service. That's for the church-going people that like the 10 Commandments.
It's bringing back some horrible memories of childhood, but keep going.
Thou shalt not use substitute swear words like geesh, gosh, dang, or fudge.
That's a commandment. You can't use
commandments. Yeah.
So
it's kind of low on the list.
The commandment is implying that they would prefer that you go all out and just swear.
Right. Just go.
Okay.
Use the word.
That's interesting.
The word is living.
I like that commandment. I think that's okay.
Now, number 7. Thou shalt not hide the good scissors or the tape. Number 8.
Scissors.
Obey thy parents till death, then eBay thy inheritance to gain wealth. Number 9, do not worship idols over your heavenly Father, unless they singeth better than the Beatles. Or actually, it says better than thy Beatles.
Oh, thy Beatles. Yes.
And lastly, number 10, not to be like David Letterman, thy holiest day shall be the Super Bowl Sunday.
That's it?
That's the holiest day. It's 10 Commandments. How many you want?
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
The one with the chariot in the driveway was somewhat amusing.
Make sure there's no chariot in the driveway.
We're gonna have to do some punch up if we want to keep our fans in Tokyo happy, as well as we have. We have one new viewer in Kiev, Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Whatever.
I'm glad you mentioned the Ukraine. You know why? Because I was going through. I found my yearbook picture. There's this lady.
You went to school in Ukraine?
No, one of our teachers was like phenomenally Eastern European bloc, beautiful. She was like,
was she from Eastern Europe or something?
Yeah, she was from like communist Europe.
Really?
Man,
I remember we had
beautiful.
We had this Ukrainian.
She looked like a spy.
How?
Or something.
Really?
Yeah.
You had like the Natasha, Boris and Natasha.
Oh, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of your fantasies.
Yeah. Kids liked her. And they wanted her class.
I don't know what makes me think of this. A quick one. My freshman year philosophy class, Aristotelian ethics, was taught by this girl. She had to be like a teaching assistant, about 26. Amazingly hot. Amazing. Would wear mini skirts and black thigh-high boots. I barely passed this class. I could not think straight. There really should have been a law against that. Well, I mean, what did she think she was doing to this class? She was very bright, but come on.
Well, the guys like looking at her.
I know I was. She should have been wearing a burqa. I got like a C. I went from an A to a C.
I'd be going like this. Dead puppies, dead puppies.
Unbelievable. It was incredible. It really was.
You have to think of something sick to get it off your mind or something,
Okay, so I guess that's it. We're going to wrap it up. A little quick Del Rivers show, and we are continuing to get some sponsorship and more sponsors, more money running into Henbane Productions here.
Aside from being a telethon.
Yeah, we like your change, your quiet money too. Yeah, and you can
actually write to my email.
You can make checks out to Henbane Productions, and you contact Del. And we do have some other stuff in the works, like I mentioned. Maybe within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see the trailers, the previews.
Right. Sounds good.
So join us here on the Del Rivers Show. You know where to find us. Keep coming back. See ya.
Good night.